winner of the South Island Field Days Innovation Award, the history of getting to the stage where you've got this new machine.
Yeah, thanks Rob for that. Look, I suppose it all started is, first of all, my brother Brian manufactured a seed drill, and you had to see, I suppose we can't start at the beginning. It came because of a foam metering system which was designed for a drill for a fertiliser spreader, which we stopped building 20 years ago. Crazy, isn't it? And what it was, the farmer was wanting to put enough seed on a belt of a fertiliser spreader for it to spread 10 metres. There was no metering system in the world that could do it. Anyway, the long and short of it is, he came up through innovative ideas, he came up through this foam metering system, which is what we've got on our drills today, okay? Now the problem was, he never had a drill, and doesn't matter, Great Plains was going to buy the idea of him, the Great Plains drill in America, and it never happened for reasons, and I won't go for that reason, but he came back to New Zealand, and he knew he had to design a drill. He knew if he designed a drill which was the same as everyone else, he'd go broke. So he came up with a complete new concept and idea, and again, that's another story, but anyway, by and by. But what it is, he's got this light grubber tine, and believe me, that drill goes in when nothing else goes in hard grounds. And the fact it's got such a light tine that's offset on an angle, it's a vibration that it digs in, which creates the tilth, and it does an incredible job. Anyway, from there, we were losing a lot of the marketplace because we were told we had to have a disc opener. So I'm going to go back now 14 odd years ago, and I built a disc opener, and it was a failure to us. They were boat anchors, I tell you. They made a better boat anchor, but anyway, and there's a reason why. I'll run through it with you. The drill he designed, actually he had to go narrow on the tines because dairy farmers then were wanting closer spaced drills, to get better grass outlay. Okay, so he went to 120 mil spacing, okay, or 4 and 5/8 spacing. Anyway, by and by. Now, so the opposition drills all had disc openers, and people said they have to have them because they had to have them, and that was because their tine was solid and it was a dead tine. By and by. So what it is, we originally came up with a disc, which wasn't this here. We actually mounted them right on the drill itself, like everyone else did. And the problem is, the weight of a disc being pushed into the ground lifted the drill out. Our drill was too light, okay, so we had to put a lot of weight on it to get them push in. When we got them to go in, because we were a narrow space drill, the tines would carpet when they would pull up, the soilers went. So there was the next disaster we had. The final disaster we had with it was this: when it did go on the ground, it didn't pull up the carpet, it deadened the tine, and the live tine was a secret of our drill, okay? So now we're going to go years later, and there's two reasons. One, because a person wants to put a mineral on the ground in a liquid form for plant health, because we've got these problems with all this nitrate poisoning, that sort of thing. It's a natural mineral in liquid form, and he's approached me and says, look, he doesn't want to use a tine, and he doesn't because he wants tilth, but he wants a straight disc. He doesn't want it all over the place, okay? So thinking along that line of how we can do that, as well as Gill Trap Engineering, our agents are selling our drills in Australia, and they have now hit a brick wall and selling them to areas that are saying, no, we can't see the drill unless you have these disc openers. So do we go for the trouble again? So now we've got to think, right, we've got to put disc openers on. How can we make this work, okay? Right, so our first issue is a weight issue, okay then? We don't want it to be much weight on the ground. So what we've done is come up with the idea of weight transfer. So where all discs are normally mounted back here where it mounts onto the drill and pushed into the ground, our ones they do go into the ground, but they aren't pushed in. So first of all, we've taken a weight bar from here back to there. Now, if they were mounted back here where they were originally, it would require 1.5 tonne to lift a drill out of the ground. We have gone forward here, and the weight here, now to lift a drill back here, because you see the fulcrum it's going to try and lift up, is just under 4 tonne there, okay? But better still, what we've done is this. It works on a pivot system, and the thing is, like I say, we aren't using a ram to push it in. Here's a ram here, we're pulling it through this toolbar here. So now it's weight transfer, we're putting it through to the tractor, okay? So there's the first thing, we've taken the weight off a drill now, okay? The next thing is okay then, now we've got a problem of that carpeting. Now, we've driven a disc. Now, this here's an open disc, okay then, and it's not driven at all, you see? So it's just, it can spin freely, so it's ground contact and runs on the ground. could still have a problem with it carpeting. Okay, so what we've done here is the first one we tried was with a hydraulic motor, and we can run a hydraulic motor. When we put on the first drill, we put on the back of a drill, and the thing was shocking when we asked the guy, right, hit it there, power it up, lifted the drill on the back and shot up to the front tyre of the tyre on the drill, and he cut it, you know. So that's how we were shocked how it worked, I suppose. So we laid it so it wouldn't go forward, and what we found was this: it dug straight in the ground, hard ground, it didn't even push the tractor along. It had no problems pushing the tractor along. I'm thinking, well, no, the drill wasn't in the ground though, it was out of the ground, but it was just pushing the tractor in the drill, which is, you know, driving the wheels along. So anyway, but the thing we found was this, is in the hard ground, it just went straight in. It had no problems going in the ground. But better still, it created the tilth. Now, if our tine's dead, it doesn't matter. The tilth's already done for the seed to be placed. So where people are concerned, oh, your tine's all over the place or whatever, you know, for seed depth, well, we haven't had that we're aware of it. I suppose there must be some disasters somewhere around the countryside, I don't know, but we haven't heard of them for our. But if a disc goes in and creates a tilth, then the tine can be dead, and it gives it an absolute seed depth set because the slot's already done for it. So it's just incredible. But it's better than that. It can be semi-tillage, so where a lot of people turn around and say run a grubber over it before they go through, you don't need to, you've got a C in there. So a precision planter, where you've got a system where you want to cut a slot and till it to put the seed in, but to keep grass growing to protect that plant, you know, and then when it comes through, get it eaten down so the plant's away. It's just got. We've just had a person come today with an irrigator, and he says, I've got a problem where the ground's gone too hard in certain spots. He says the first thing I've seen, we can cut a slot in the ground, let the water go back into the ground again. But it's hard, and so he goes from saying, even people now looking at it and saying actually what else can be used for. So what I'm saying is the fact it's driven is really where it comes an amazing machine. And the thing is, even in wet times, like so you wouldn't drill at the moment because it'd be too wet. But this here, because why? A disc will go in and polish the ground, or a hoe drill would go in and just block it up. So if you had this disc here, it wouldn't polish. It wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't polish the ground. It wouldn't leave a tilth, but it would cut it, but you wouldn't have that polished ground. So it's got a great future. So you know, we're excited. Yeah. So watch your space, I suppose. Yeah.